Hey guys, it is Dr. Rimka coming to you from the Brain and Body Solutions business page. But I'm going to tell you that I've done a little experiment. So I've done 46 days in a row of taking a cold shower. As cold of a shower, part of the shower that I can tolerate, that I can get my water to. Why did I take cold showers for 46 days in a row? I'm going to tell you a little bit of backstory, but basically I'm going to tell you there's at least 7 big benefits to taking cold showers. I'm going to go through like 6, and my 7th might be a little bit of a rant, but we'll see. All right, I've been wanting to do this kind of cold talk for a while, but here's the thing. I've had a nemesis in my health and healing journey, and it's called cold. I don't like the cold. I don't like ice. I don't like the cold. People talk about like, why don't you live in California? You seem like you'd fit in with California. I'm like, because it's like 72 degrees and I'd be wearing a down, jacket all the time. They're like, what? I'm like, no. People call it hot Atlanta. Nobody here calls it that, but I like the hot. People say, ooh, aren't you tired of that heat? No, ma'am. I love the heat. And the stickier and the wetter it is, the more I love it. I'm trying to go further south. So the cold has, I need to make sure that's off. The cold has basically owned me and turned me into a little crying, whining little baby because I don't want to deal with it. So let me tell you why I finally did it, okay? And I'm going to say this is like a hierarchy. It's called cryotherapy. It's called cold therapy. I've made many posts in here on this business page. You can go in some of the playlists and you'll see me in nitrogen tanks, putting nitrogen gas on me to get very cold. I played a lot of sports and I went into ice baths before. It's like total hell. Nobody wants to do that. Yeah, South Texas hot and humid. I love it. I love some heat. That's a whole other conversation. If you look at my Mito Monday videos in here, I go over talking about the genetic backgrounds of the mitochondria and why certain people have different non-human DNA mitochondria, and if it affects your tolerance to heat and cold differently. Well, I have the type of mitochondrial haplotype that says, hello, equator. How are you, heat? I love the heat. My mitochondria do not uncouple. I make a lot of ATP and I do not leak infrared light and I don't heat up very well. So I'm cold. Now, that's a whole bunch of stuff that I just said. Let me explain. First, the main reason for me was simply a self-discipline moment in trying to finally overcome something that I'm afraid of. Ice physically hurts me. I have been diagnosed. I had a hypothyroidism for many years, off and on. I won't get into that. I've gone into remission a couple times, but I have been medicated for hypothyroid for 14, almost maybe 15 years now, right before I got pregnant, okay? And for the first time in my life, a couple months ago, by changing the way of eating to carnivore and using a supplement, I use a hormone balancer, a homeopathic, I have finally started to heal my thyroid to the point that we've reduced my meds. I'm sure that's why I could finally tolerate this, but anybody with a thyroid disorder, cold affects you very differently. It feels like hell. Okay, hell to me is an ice cave. It's not an inferno. I'm fine with some heat. The devil is in an ice cube. You get cold to the point it's like too deep into your bones. So if it's the winter and I go out in the snow, I don't come into a house and get warm. I have to go into like infrared lights. I have to go into a sauna. I have to go into a tub to try to heat it up from the inside out because it's downright painful. There's no amount of sweaters or blankets and socks that a person like me can put on. And every patient of mine who has something similar feels the same way. So the cold has been downright painful. And cold therapy, cryotherapy has so many healing, outrageous benefits. I've done multiple videos. I make myself go out when it snows. I make myself do the things. I do the nitrogen gas cryotherapy tanks. I bought an entire ice compression machine for my joints, for my back, because it's a way I can tolerate cold without doing what we call ice packing, which would be getting in a tub and putting on ice. There's whole protocols on that. And here's the thing, I'm going to tell you a lot of why I got into this. I study a few people, and I study Dr. Jack Cruz, a neurosurgeon. I've been in his forum for years, and he actually chatted with me, and he read my labs and looked at my mitochondrial genetics, and he told me, Praise, the cold wasn't that important for me. He goes, the cold might not be that important for you. I took that little sliver of information and was like, I'm going to tap out. I don't have to do it. I'm not doing cold. Done. I got an L1 haplotype. I'm straight equatorial African. I'm good. Y'all Nordic people can deal with your ice because I hate it. Okay. But I've been watching another man. I've been studying men a lot lately over the last few years because I'm growing a man. I have a almost 14-year-old son, and I'm building a man neurologically, emotionally, sociologically, right? And I'm working on a men's book. So I have been studying men that I admire, that have the archetype of the kind of men that I think the world would be a powerful, safe, clean, wonderful place for all of us to be if there were more men like this in the world, if we created more men like this, stable, right? Jack Cruz has been one of those. Another one of those, these archetypes of what I'm looking at, of strong, courageous, powerful, heart-centered, emotionally open, and spiritual men is Wim Hof. He is called the Iceman. I have not gathered the courage to go take any Wim Hof training, so I really don't know much about it other than I keep watching him and reading him. This guy has broken all these world records and done all this crazy stuff and hiked up, Mount Everest barefoot in some underwear or some crazy stuff at 22,000. Like, the man defies all laws of physiology and cold and anatomy. So he has proven repeatedly you can use your mind to completely alter your physiology to any state you need to be, and it won't even have that. And for him, the access to a higher level of consciousness, to a higher level of neurology, to altering and controlling your autonomic nervous system, these stress response in your body, for him, it's been through breath and through cold. And he actually discovered the breath through the cold. Because in case any of you have ever been out in cold or jumped into a cold lake or a cold ocean or a cold pool, you automatically change your breathing from that shock response. Your whole body changes. And in that extreme cold, you can't think about anything else, right? So cold has owned me. I don't like things to own me. I don't like to be in fear of stuff, but I really just kind of tapped out. I'm like, look, I'm gonna tap out on that cold. I'm good. I'm gonna buy more gadgets. I'm gonna buy more devices. I'm gonna spend more money. I'm gonna get more IVs. I'm gonna get more Prolozone. I'm gonna buy a sauna. I'm gonna get more lights. I'm gonna get more glasses. I'm gonna turn off my Wi-Fi. I'm gonna do anything and everything I can to avoid putting ice on my body. That was my story. All right. So a couple months ago, got some labs, my thyroid medication got cut in half, and I don't feel cold. I don't have all this crazy reaction to cold anymore. And I said, you know what? I watched something about Wim recently, and I said, all right, I'm going to go after this. I'm going to start doing it. You start as simply as 30 seconds after you're done with your shower. So you do your shower, and the last 30 seconds, you just get that water cold. Don't go more than 30 seconds. And where I used to have to tap out about 5 seconds, I could just automatically do the 30 seconds. I was like, what is happening? Why isn't this feeling as hellish as it used to? It's because my hormones are getting stabilized. My thyroid is healing. The way of eating combined with the supplementation I'm doing is starting to heal my hormones. I'm not as cold intolerant, which was in and of itself amazing. But I wanted to go after and really own this because I wanted to go after these benefits. Let me go through the benefits, all right? Number one, it's still one of these things. It increases your alertness. like mental alertness, cognition, what people look to do to get a stimulant, to get coffee or whatever in the morning. You can do that with a cold shower. All right. It changes the breathing, it increases your heart rate, and it floods you with oxygenation by doing this. So it sounds simple, like this, oh, of course, cold water wakes you up. Well, it does more than that. It really has some physiological reasons that makes you more alert, more able to focus and concentrate. Who doesn't want that? People are doing all kinds of fancy stuff. Well, this is basically free. Okay. Number two, and it was so funny when I just got my hair done recently, the stylist has like all this unicorn rainbow hair color. It's amazing. And she was like, oh, I only use cold water. I never put hot water on my hair. So this lasts forever. I'm like, oh, that's right. Because you get massive improvements in your skin and your hair. It makes you look younger and prettier to take a cold shower. So a very cheap anti-aging trick is to never take a hot shower. Some, like Wim Hof, never takes a hot shower. So what does it do? It keeps all the oil, the natural oils that are on you to keep you soft and supple and, not cracking. It keeps them there. Isn't that fabulous? So, and it tightens the pores. Isn't that fabulous again? So it keeps dirt and bacteria and things out of your pores. So it keeps you looking younger. So that's the number two benefit, just to look good. So it's going to make you smarter because you can be more alert, can make you look prettier. That'll probably get you a raise right there, make you more money. That's a side benefit. Okay. It also stimulates weight loss. This is a huge thing. Any of you that know anything about Jack Cruz, follow his stuff. If you don't like physics, don't follow it. Just follow me because he's really intense and oh my God, super smart. Sometimes you're like, I don't know what you just said. Can you break it down for me? But it makes you lose weight. The cold makes you lose weight. You have white fat and brown fat. Brown fat helps make you lose the white fat. The brown fat increases your metabolism. The white fat slows your metabolism. The cold increases your brown fat. All I need to know, it makes you lose weight. Huh? Can you imagine part of your weight loss program? The way I do things, eat a big steak and throw some ice on your chest in the bathtub. Hello, be skinny. I don't work out. Okay. All right. So that's nice. Number 4, reduces stress. This was probably the main reason I started doing it. All right. I said, okay, I had time to go talk to somebody. I got things I'm doing. I just don't want to deal. But right, I have this tool right here. Let me start taking some cold showers and shock my system. Because it does actually cause a major physiological change in your neurotransmitters and it reduces stress. It's quite amazing. Plus, by purposely putting yourself in a state of discomfort, because it doesn't feel good to take a cold shower. It doesn't feel good to jump in a bathtub with ice, anything like that. Cold does not feel good. I'm still clear. I don't like it. Okay, it just doesn't feel like I'm dying now. So it hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's not pleasant. It's not like a massage. There's discomfort. But by me finally going in there and doing it, I owned it. I conquered something. I'm going to go into discomfort. What? If I can start my day in discomfort, you think all this little crap I'm going to encounter, little bumps along the way are going to stop me? Hashtag can't hurt me, David Goggins. What? Like, we're not doing enough of making ourselves uncomfortable so we can handle our shit. I'm swear, actually. So it lowers stress because I've already seen that I can handle a stressor and my whole body knows how to respond and it actually calms it down, right? So that's what it does. It also lowers depression and it does that through a flood of neurotransmitters. So we are plagued with anxiety, depression, feelings of hopelessness right now. I'm not saying this is a replacement for therapy, but every single one of you in America has running water. If you're watching this, you can take cold showers. You're freaking out, don't jump in the cold shower. There's back in the day, people used to throw cold buckets of, water on people and throw a cup of water in their face. This is like a thing. It was on TV, there's a real physiological reason. All right. Very commonly, everybody knows, number 6, that it decreases muscle soreness and exercise recovery. That's a common thing. Ice baths, athletes, we all know that. It was a hell that I hated enduring, and I used to lie my way out of it with the trainers in college. I'm like, oh yeah, I did it. I'm good. Probably stupid because I was a whiny little, whatever, brat. and I couldn't face the cold. So I am kind of on a mission now to own the cold, to conquer this. Like, I don't want to jump out of a plane. I want to jump into an ice bath. Like, that's way more terrifying to me than skydiving or something, right? So number 7, this is kind of like a bonus tip, right? The bonus reason. I think why I'm doing it overall is because I don't want to whine. I don't want that to own me, right? What I've seen right now recently in the climate of culture, I am seeing so many people all over social media, all over Facebook and all the things with posts like, I'm so traumatized by the debates, or I can't even get out of bed. I'm so upset about this article I read about something happening in Italy, or that, like, things that have no actual impact on that person are causing them to have panic, anxiety, being crippled. I couldn't work all day. I've been in bed in despair over, you read an article on Facebook about something that happened or may not have happened in, I don't know, Afghanistan. Like, you didn't go to work today. You didn't handle your business because you're an emotional wreck over the way CNN handled the debate coverage or something. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, really? This is where we're at? Like, I don't know who can afford to have a nervous breakdown over that kind of stuff, because if I don't show up and go to work, I don't know who's paying for all this and who's feeding my child and who's cooking for him and who's driving him to school. Some people apparently have a lot of luxury to have a lot of excuses. And if you don't know who David Goggins is, hashtag and at David Goggins on Instagram and read his book, Can't Hurt Me. Again, another male archetype of what I'm studying, where, you know, this whole, like, I don't know why some people really, 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 really want to argue for their limitations. Like, they want to sell me into why they can't get better, why they can't do it, why they can't have any money, why they couldn't get this thing done, why, oh my goodness, well, but. I look at the cold shower as a way of helping you get out of your butts and your limitations and your addiction to feeling weak and powerless. I don't know why anybody wants anybody to think they can't do things. I don't really get it. That has never been that's not a winning formula in my family. That's going to get you a whole lot of nothing. But I still see people doing it. So it really has been a thing lately where I'm watching it like, wow, there's so many things we can do that are low cost, you know, or just really affordable or free. Cold shower is basically free, that can help you build your resilience so you can adapt. We have become so incredibly soft, right? I live in this, like, I didn't have air conditioning as a child. Nobody did. If it was hot, it was hot. You sweated. You wore less clothes. You sat in the shade. You did nothing. You're too hot, can't run and play baseball, don't play. That was your solution. Read a book, be hot, sweat. And it was cold. Sometimes you're just really cold. You're like, it is cold. How many more blankets do we put on, right? So now we're just living at this like perfect temperature all the time, and nobody has to cut their grass, and nobody cleans their gutters, nobody fixes anything, nobody knows how to change a flat tire, like nobody does anything. Like, it's just, how are you gonna, I mean, no wonder we just don't have coping skills, because we're never dealing with discomfort to see that we can overcome discomfort. So what I've been seeing in the last little couple months and seeing so much of it, I was like, oh no, cold will not own me. I'm gonna go after it. My next step is to actually get myself in the tub with some ice water. So I have a thermometer, and I've only ever taken it to 70 degrees, you guys. 70 degrees feels like can't handle it. But there's a different temperature. You want to get there like 55 for his stuff. So if 74 to 70 has been a challenge, what do you think I'm going to do at 55? Can you see why I've been avoiding this? But again, I don't like anything owning me. I don't like anything making, basically making me bow to it. I don't want to be on my knees for any damn thing. So when it comes to the ice, I'm going to come and get you. I'm committing myself to probably going after the Wim Hof thing, doing a weekend, just doing it, just getting it done. But so it's something for you guys to explore. Cold therapy, cryotherapy has a lot of benefits. And I think one of the biggest benefits it can have is on helping the psychology and the psyche of our culture at this point that thinks everything's supposed to be comfortable all the time. If there's any discomfort, I'm supposed to numb myself out with drugs, alcohol, food, sleep, Netflix, because, any bump and bruise in my life and I can't handle it. No, I don't think so. No. I just went to a conference and the people I heard and what they have been through make most people's stories look like, they grew up in Candyland. So I think people need some perspective and need to start putting themselves in some discomfort so they can show themselves, oh yeah, I've been through this. If I can do that, then I can do this. Success is built by creating evidence that you have done things before. Confidence is built from past successes. You need wins to feel like you can win. You lose all the damn time. No wonder you're gonna feel like you can lose all the time. You'll lose sometimes. I fall sometimes. Right? Everybody does. But you got to bring win. And so for me, winning over showers was huge. 46 days in a row. Boom. Okay? Look it up. Wim Hof. I'm going to hashtag him in here, all that kind of stuff. But that's why I take a shower and in the cold, and you guys can do it too. It helps break up stress response when it's happening. So another new little free tip, cold shower. Do it. Challenge you. Look it up. Bye, y'all.